Hey all, Garrett here with another SearchCarriers update. Just wanted to make a quick video going over what rolled out today and the latest release. There's a lot in there. Let's just jump into it and I'll show you what we got. First things first, we have a brand new mobile navigation. Going left to right, we have our normal menu options. We have our go to home, which is basically the search page for most people logged in. We have our quick jump button. We also have our search by picture and then your typical profile settings. For starters, let's go ahead and open up quick jump. And we're going to jump to a company that you all are probably familiar with, Posada. Jumping into actions, track updates. We have a brand new set of update tracking for trucks, trailers, and drivers. You can now track for changes either by any change or by threshold percentages. So let's say I want to track Posada and be alerted if their trailer count changes by 10% or more. I can do that here now with this threshold percentage. And save that, and now I'll get an email if that changes by my threshold or more. Going over to our contact system, we have a brand new update. So in version 1.19, we introduced enriched contacts. In version 1.20 released today, we introduced aliases and tightened up the contact search. We had reports of some companies coming back that had like 3-letter acronyms coming back for the wrong company. So what we've done is we've tightened it up, made sure that the company definitely matches if it pulls it back. And we've added this aliases system to contacts so that now if you search and you don't find any contacts because we've made it more strict, you can actually come in and add an alias to this company, which will allow you to, for example, look up a company that's known as GST. You could add an alternative name here for Grant Smith Trucking, and that will now go and look for contacts that are tied to Grant Smith Trucking, not just GST, which will obviously improve your odds of finding the right contacts. Going back home, we have a new history button. I know this has been long requested. So now you'll see this little history icon. You can click this. It'll show you your recent searches as well as recent profiles you've opened. So if you want to just go back to a recent search, you can do that. Or if you want to jump directly to a profile you had open, you can also just do that. We also have a whole rework of our insurance system. So now if you go to our insurance page, it's going to land you here. You can type in an insurance company name, which you're probably used to, but this is going to look a little different. We'll try with Geico, and you can see we have a full list of active and historical policies. I can scroll down and I can actually get some information about overview, activity, carrier safety ratings attached to this insurer, etc., etc. But the cool thing is we can now go to the top and we can actually filter by name, location, city, stuff like that, but also policies. So if you wanted to say, just give me policies that start with 93 and end with 75, you can now do that and find all these. And from here, you can either export it to get a CSV like you're used to, or even add it directly to a lineup of your choosing, including that policy filter, filtering by type of coverage, etc. But it gets way better than that. Now we have tracking attached not only to carriers and companies with DOT numbers, but also insurers. So now on the top right, you can click set up alert, and you can set up an alert for any company that's insured by this insurer. This includes policy filters. You can add your own label if you want to help keep track. So now I can come in here and say anybody with Geico Marine Insurance, I want to be notified when a new carrier is insured, or when any carrier they insure has a new inspection, or any of our other fields that you're normally able to apply. Instead of having to manage this on every individual carrier, you can do it at an insurer level now. Going to our lineups, if we go to our carrier network preview, our carrier network review page got a little bit of an update. Now our filters are a little more intuitive. You can actually filter by more than just review or fail, but also by fail or review separately, and a little more helper information on what these different filters actually are. And we've also added bulk management here. So not only can you just review the results here now, but you can come in and you could say anyone that has a driver out of service above average, here's our 4. We can select individually or as a group. I want to move them to a lineup, and you can either move them out of the lineup this was originally run on into a new lineup, or you can even copy it and say, I want to add them to a new lineup called over average out of service. And I can do this and automatically add those to that new lineup that just was created. Just gives you a couple more options for managing the results after you run the reviews. There's a lot more than that to this update, so make sure you go check out the full changelog to see the full list of updates. But until next time, happy searching.